The market moves pretty fast sometimes. If you don't stop and take a look around once in a while, you could miss it. Today's news and headlines may have you feeling insecure about what's happening with prices and the market, and whether or not the worst is yet to come. Contrary to many headlines at the moment, the housing market is not in a free fall. In fact, the latest national data tells a much more positive story. CoreFact has just recently released their latest data, and it does paint a more positive picture of what's going on in housing. Positive meaning that the market isn't crumbling, which, as a buyer, may seem like bad news, but for the overall health of the economy, it's a plus. The national forecast from CoreLogic indicates that home prices will increase on a month-over-month basis by 1% from May to June, and increase on a year-over-year basis by 4.5% from May 2023 to May 2024. What we see nationally is that the price crash already came and went, and prices are slowly going to tick back up. And here are three sources that are kind of saying the same thing. The worst is behind us, and if you blinked and you missed it, I'm sorry. Now, that being said, there is some seasonality to prices depending upon the area that you live in. Typically, the spring and summertime is when you're going to see the most movement in real estate, because especially for families, people want to buy their house and get settled before school starts. So as we head into the fall, I don't expect any major skyrocketing prices, but I'm also not anticipating any giant plunges either. So let's take these national numbers and let's drill it down to the Gainesville-Alachua County area. We can see that prices have kind of been jumping around. Here are the average sales prices from the last 2 years, June 2021 to June of 2023. This year, we saw prices peak in March in our area for an average sales price of $433,860. Historically in our area, we do tend to see that prices take a dip as we move into the late fall and early winter. And unless interest rates plummet, I would expect that we would see that this year as well. But remember, a dip in prices is not a crash. So now let's get a little bit more broad. Let's go all the way back to the average sales price from now to 2008. What I want you to see first are all the peaks and valleys. It is so normal for prices to fluctuate. That is just part of the real estate market. But also look at the general trend. The general trend is going up, even though there are peaks and valleys along the way. And if you look at one of our most recent low points, January of 2022, as it was low for the time, it's still well above most of the prices behind it. And what's really important to note is over the next 2 years, almost every single price monthly was higher than that. So even though prices are dipping, they're still higher than they were back then. Now let's flip the coin. Let's say you bought a property in March of 2022. Maybe you saw prices like that and you waited because you were sure prices were going to come down. Well, with the exception of November and February of the following months, every single other month had a higher average price point. I'm trying to give you this picture because right now headlines are so misleading, and I keep hearing over and over and over again from people who want to buy a house, I want to wait for prices to go down. I want to wait for interest rates to drop. Look at this. We are in a position where we are seeing those trends. Yes, there may be a little dip here or there, but if you're waiting to get prices from 2019, you missed it. So stop waiting, take action, look at the data, because this is telling you what is happening. Headlines are not. And when I say take action, I don't mean go and buy a house, because that may or may not be the right action for you. But I think you should take action in figuring that out. And if it's not the right time to buy a house, then you need to get a plan in place so that as soon as you're ready, you can take action and get in the game. Because the sooner you get in the game, the sooner you're going to be able to take advantage of the wealth building opportunity that is homeownership. Plain and simple. And you may still be feeling skeptical, saying, Lindsey, houses are no longer affordable, mortgage rates are too high. Shouldn't it stand to reason that prices are going to drop? Well, I venture to say, no, they're not. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.